Dispatchers help callers on the worst days of their lives. For over 25 years, we've been there. A silent partner in millions of calls thanks to our redundant and diverse networks that ensure call delivery. Today, cities are bigger, traffic more congested, and the challenge is more complex. But you're never alone, because InDigital is quietly improving, implementing, and driving the next generation of 911, so you're supported in every situation. Make the switch at InDigital.net.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, Kelly, you're like, get it. Like, yeah. We're back for Open Mic Live. It is August 3rd, 2025. And it has been an excellent week. There's been a lot of different things going on, as always, and some of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about tonight, I actually talked about a few days ago, just a couple days ago on Friday, over at the Trenches community. If you're not part of the Trenches, make sure to jump on there. Excuse me. It is free to join. There are over 200 hours of free continuing education, and also at the end of this month will be the first of several public safety showcase events that are going to happen. This is a mini version of Dare to Be Great. So there'll be about 4 or 5 speakers that'll be on there, but it's only in the Trenches. So if you have not joined yet, please make sure to do so. You can simply go to links, and that's links with 2 I's, okay? Links with 2 I's .co/IAM911. Just scroll down a little bit and you will find the link there for the Trenches. And people are connecting, coming together in this community. I know there's a lot of dispatch communities out there and everything. You know, some of them are, I mean, they're all within social media, right? And some of them are, so they're all right. You know, they've got a lot of people there and stuff, but some places are just toxic. And that's what I'm trying to get away from, and trying to get away from the distraction of social media and bringing everyone together in one spot. This is on the Circle platform, where I can do all the continuing education stuff, all of the different events that we'll be doing. And also every Monday, I do coffee chats in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Sometimes they're earlier if I've got other things going on, right? So make sure to check that out. I'll be on there tomorrow doing a 30-minute coffee chat. Sometimes they go a little over because, you know, the conversation is really good. And I want to continue just the conversation in general. So I've got those. And then on Wednesdays, I do a midweek check-in with everyone. So that's a lot of fun as well. Just in the morning, again, 9 a.m., just checking in with people, seeing how you are. And of course, those videos are saved. So you can watch them whenever you want. and it's always a lot of fun. It is cool. What is this? Join my fan club? Sorry, I just saw this over here on TikTok. It put something on my head. I didn't know what the hell it was, so I wanted to look at it over here really quick. But also, I forget sometimes because I just jump in. But this live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, a leader in next-gen core services. And a big shout out to them and to all of you, all the subscribers, all of you. Thank you for everything. And also a big shout out to Rapid SOS as well for hosting the podcast. We got this partnership going on. But Shay, what is going on for what we're doing together and stuff? So there's a lot more stuff coming, but they hosted the podcast once again, just like at National Nina, but this time National APCO. Keely, she says, you're early tonight. Yes, I am early tonight. A lot of people, if you just noticed, yes, early tonight. And the reason is because SummerSlam is going on right now in New Jersey. I watched a couple matches right before. Yesterday was night 1. Today is night 2. And I wanted to come on early so that when I'm done, I'll have at least enough time to watch the main event with my kids. And so that's why we're going early today. But again, shout out to Rapid SOS for hosting the podcast and recorded a bunch of stuff there. It was such a good time. And there's a lot more coming with all of that's going on as well. Now, I want to look back over here at my notes. Episode 613 went out this past Wednesday, and that was with Jen from Chagrin Valley Dispatch. And I'm going to play a clip here in just one moment, but it was an excellent episode. Make sure to look out for that. Episode 614 is going to be coming up, and that's going to be with Carla. And she's with Chagrin Valley Dispatch as well. The thing, though, and I got to get a hold of her. I have to send her a message tonight to see if we can do this tomorrow because her episode is already going to come up on Wednesday. But here's the thing. So where we were recording these episodes, I was told that the place is haunted. Yes. It is haunted. Okay. Oh, let's see. Ryan over here says, let me tell you something, brother. That is an acceptable excuse. Yes, exactly. Thank you. So let me play this really quick over here on TikTok. You're not going to be able to see it, but I will put my headphones on the microphone so that you can at least hear what she is saying. It is on the Within the Trenches podcast TikTok account. So it's already out there. But the episode went out and it was an excellent one. I think it was just about an hour long. So let me switch my audio here really quick and share this on screen so that you can check this out, because this was just a great episode, and I'm so happy that we got a chance to do it. But I'll add some more here in just 1 second. Here we go.
But then on the flip side, one of the calls that has also probably been the hardest for me is a simple lost dog. I had a coyote mix, and he had cancer, and he had a really rough night the night before. Like, I knew I was going to have to put him down soon. I didn't get much sleep. I already was a mess. I'm a very big dog person. They're my babies. My kids actually accuse me of loving the dogs more than them. So, and he just had a rough night. I didn't sleep. I had to be at work at 6. I was up at 4. Very first call I take is a lady who is hysterical because she lost her dog. I got the information, got a phone, took the call, was professional. I hung up, and I absolutely lost it to the point where my co-supervisor had to send me home. I couldn't get it together. I'm like, people have calls like this over people passing away, CPR, and I'm losing it over a dog. But it just was the fact that she was upset that she, just lost her dog, and I was about to really lose mine.
So there you have it. That was a clip with Jen again from Chagrin Valley Dispatch, and an excellent episode. John over here, my homie on TikTok. Hello, what's going on, man? A little more context for that clip there. So there was part of that conversation was that we were talking about how sometimes there are some calls that are made for you, like, you are the one who's meant to take that call for whatever reason. And we were talking about how she, as she said, had to put her dog down. And what I was saying was that even though it might sound weird, like, oh, that was meant for you. Well, here's the explanation. Okay, so I have, or I've had pets before. I currently don't have a pet, right? And she does. Jen did at the time, and had been a pet owner and everything forever. So she would be able to speak to that person and help them in a way that I wouldn't be able to. Like, there would be some words or some things that she would be able to say that would almost come natural to her because she has more of that experience than I do. I hope that makes sense. Because it's not to say that I wouldn't do a good job or that her coworkers wouldn't do a good job. It's just she has that connection, and whatever the caller needed to hear in that moment to really understand, that's something that I feel like Jen would have been able to relay and even relate better than I would be able to. Keely over here says, really thinking of getting a pup. Talk me off my ledge. But what if I agree? Like, you should get one. Keely's probably thinking, oh, no, that's not what I wanted you to say. That's not what I was looking for. I just said, talk me off, not get on the wagon with me. James says, what a week. Fantastic time in Baltimore. Yes, it was an awesome time. It was an excellent time. But just really quick before I go off on the next piece here, if you have not listened to it yet, check out episode 613. Just amazing conversation with Jen. And again, 614 is coming up with Carla. Now, as I was talking, that building is haunted from what they were telling me. I cut it out of the episode. I was going to leave it, but I cut it out. There's a point in the episode where my gimbal ends up just completely turning off. It fell over. The camera was still running, but the gimbal itself ended up turning off. And we were jokingly saying, oh, it's probably her. It's probably the ghost that's there. And then I thought, oh, I don't want to joke around like that. Because you never know. Like, they have a dog there too. And the dog was like walking around, but then would stop and just like stare at the doorway for a while. And we thought, who's there? Who's there? Like, oh my God. So, we got a bunch of people joining over here on Instagram. What's up? Latinas of 911. Josie, what's going on? Fur babies are the best to have. Yes. My homie Julie jumping in there as well. Awesome. Welcome. So here's the other thing. So when I was recording with Carla next up was Carla, coworker of Jen. And we are recording for about, I think it stops at 37 minutes. And the camera, like all of it just turned off. We didn't even know. Like, the gimbal was still working, but the camera and everything turned off. And it shouldn't have. I had it on Do Not Disturb. I also had it on, like, to stay on all the time for it not to fall asleep. And it just turned off. So I don't know. I'm not saying for sure that the ghost that's there did something. Yeah, John over here on TikTok, he's got a bunch of little ghost emojis. Yeah, I don't know if that was it, but man, it was something. So I need to get a hold of Carla so that we can virtually record the last piece of the episode to get the episode out to all of you. And then, of course, episode 4 of Imagine Listening is coming up next, and those are the funny stories. That's the open mic piece of the Imagine Listening session from California, National Nina in Long Beach, California. Whew, those calls are going to be something. So I know I have to edit a few things, but just wait for that one. So we've got a lot of good stuff coming up. Once again, just powerful stories, OG podcast Within the Trenches coming up, and then, of course, the Imagine Listening podcast as well. How is everyone feeling? I ask everyone this all the time when we do open mic. How are you feeling? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. How are you feeling? How are you doing? I'm coming in at like an 8.5. Like it was a great week. It was such a great week. And there were so many people that came up to say hello, because I am fresh back from the National APCO Conference. And it was amazing. James says, I am a 10. Lots to be happy about. Yeah, dude. Very nice. Very nice. James coming in at a 10 already. John coming in at a 10, watching SummerSlam Night 2, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's right. The Wyatt 6. They end up keeping their belts. So I wanted to, let me do this first, okay? Because Keely says, both the husband and I are around an 8, better today than yesterday for sure. I can only imagine. Yes, I'm glad that you are at an 8, but I will just say this, Keely, my friend, you are in humanity, like infinite numbers, like you're way up there. I won't go into this, but let's just say Keely did a lot of amazing things this past week and was just there for a lot of people. And to you, my friend, an applause and a thank you for just being a good human being. And you're awesome. Keep doing what you do, dude. Let's see, Ryan Rogers over here says 7. The weekend went too fast. Yeah, this is true. Amy over here says, I'm about a 7, long weekend plus awake on Friday. All right. Well, either way, everyone seems to be coming in at a good number. That is awesome. Over here on Instagram, what are your numbers? Where are you at? And Keely, of course, yes, you are very welcome. If you were at the National APCO Conference, then you know it was hot as balls, man. like the devil's ass crack, yo. It was hot. For real. Like, if you were there, you know, because it was about 110 degrees the whole week. It was sticky. It was gross. The humid. My girl Casey, what up, yo? What's up, my friend? Casey here is one of the coolest mofos. Shout out to the rocket scientists of the West Coast. Yeah. Oh. So Casey at first said 5. Gearing up for battle this week. We are behind you. Yes. James says, part of that 10 is the fact that I got to pose with the I Am 911 wrestling belt. Yeah, dude. For real. And now Casey says, okay, a 7 now that you said devil's ass crack. Keely says, I think my clothes are still wet. It was disgusting. For real. If you have ever experienced swamp ass, then you know. Now, here's the thing. Like, one of those days I walked from breakfast to the convention center, and I was thinking it's not going to be that bad. And really, it wasn't that bad. I mean, I was in a t-shirt, but I was in like kind of dress pants, like those tech pants, right? And I had my backpack on. By the time I got to the convention center, all of my back was drenched, dude. Like, I had to check myself, like, to make sure that I didn't need another fucking layer of deodorant. Yeah, seriously. That's how hot it was. It was not it was not good. And I thought, in Maryland, like Baltimore, it's this hot for real? It's like the devil sat his bare ass cheeks on the city and was like, feel my heat. Oh shit. Oh man, I'm not right. Oh, wait, over here on Instagram, Julie says, solid 9, way fun week ahead, and absolutely love Sundays knowing a solid Monday is coming. Money. Julie also says the visuals that came with the devil's ass crack comment. This is so bad. Oh my God, I'm crying, man. Let's see. Keely says, same. I walked back to you guys from the convention center and I'm still questioning my life choices. And Casey says, laugh my ass off. So glad I logged in for this. James says, the rain felt good, real good. What rain? When did it rain? I don't remember it raining. Casey says, blah, ha, ha, ha. Oh, the smell. That's a Leonard Skinner right there. Ooh, that smell. Doom, 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 doom. Can't you smell that smell? Psh, when it... It literally says the smell of death surround you. That's what it was like. For real. With the devils just fucking teabagging that city. Oh man. Bro, for real. Oh man. Where's my girl Nicole from Michigan? Where's she at? Oh man. Oh shit. This is wow. Keely said it poured, but we were indoors and it didn't make things better, just more wet from everywhere. No, you're right. Oh, Julie over here says it wasn't rain, it was Satan's sweet. Oh, sweet, not sweet. It was Satan's sweat dripping down out of the sky onto you, dude. Yeah, probably. That's why it was all spicy. Casey says, on the next episode of Between the Cheeks. Oh, wow. Like, my eyes are burning and my stomach hurts from laughing so much because my eyes are watering so bad. And I don't know why, like, but in my head, like, I imagine, the devil going over the city, but like speaking in Spanish for some reason. Yo soy el diablo. Y voy a estar caliente aquí. Con mis nalgas calientes. Holy shit. I hope my mom is not watching this right now. That would be horrible. I know my kids downstairs can probably hear me. Oh, wow, man. This is we went way off. But you know what? That's what's so much fun about Open Mic Live. For real. Whether we are sharing funny 911 stories or talking shit like this, that's what this is all about, because we are simply forgetting for this hour what is going on outside the world and just us here right now talking. And if anyone has come in with a low number, I hope that with this little bit alone, your number has gone up, because this has already been hilarious. Whew. Wait, Keely says, I truly hope she is. I love when she's here. Dude, don't say that, because my mom probably is watching right now. She's going to pop on in a minute. She's going to go, hola. And I'll be like, no, no. Oh, this is, yeah. I don't know what to say. Oh, shit. Where was I even at? I don't even know. So here's the thing. In my notes, it literally says, I have it typed out here, it was hot as balls. Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, where it is hot as balls. Oh, geez. What? Ayo, will you be at ABCO in... I don't know, maybe. I would like to be. We'll see. Oh, wow. This took a turn. But I'm not mad at it. I love it. Like, this is, like, again, this is what Open Mic Live is all about. And I love doing this with all of you. It is so much fun. And actually, some of the coffee chats have been like this as well, where it has just been so much fun and just talking and and sharing stories with all of you. So I will say, the hotel that I stayed with, or stayed at rather, it was a very cool hotel. You could tell it was older, right? Because each floor had one of those like old mailboxes where you could go and put some stuff in and it would go down to the bottom. It also had a vault. Excuse me. I didn't get to see the vault. I wanted to, but my homie, Keely, it's this Topo Chico mineral water. My homie Keely and Karen actually got to go and check it out. They took some pictures, so that was really cool. But I wish I would have gone down there, because that vault reminds me of an episode of The Twilight Zone. And Keely goes, I have pictures. Yes, she does. And it looks super cool. So if you're ever in Baltimore and you're staying downtown, stay at the Spring Hill Suites. The Spring Hill Suites downtown, not the one across from the convention center. This is the one that's like an 8-minute walk from the convention center. And usually, I'm sure, it would be a good walk. And I mean, it was, but it was super hot. But the place was really cool. It was excellent. I enjoyed it greatly. And the vendor hall there at the conference was enormous. So if you were there, if you were not there, I'm about to show you for over here on TikTok. It is on my main page, like this one where I'm doing this right now. You can see it there. Or maybe I didn't post. Damn it. I don't know if I posted it now. I will post it. But I want to show this on screen. And what I will say too is that this video was actually taken from my glasses, my Meta glasses that I have. I just hit record and I ended up walking through. So let me play this here really quick. But also, what's being shown right here is just barely a part of the middle section at the conference in the vendor hall, because there was way, way, way more. Seriously, there were tons more. So Geocom had like this Ferris wheel, which was kind of cool. And then, yeah, it's just kind of showing around what it looks like there in the vendor hall. But it was enormous. A lot of people were saying how overwhelming it was in there. And it was, yeah, there was tons of people and just a huge vendor hall, but really cool. There's my spot right there, right on the side there at the Rapid SOS booth. Really cool. Again, I had my Meta Ray-Ban glasses, so I just held the button to record, and I just walked through that little bit that was right there. So that was just a little bit of what that looked like. But yeah, it was huge, dude. And I had a bunch of people coming around. So all I can say, oh wait, James says, yep, I can testify to that. Testify. He says, I went vendor to vendor handing out our 2026 Atlantic chapter flyers. You went to every single one, bro? That's a lot. That's a shit ton of industry partners to visit, but well done. Well done. The other thing, and James kind of mentioned this already, but I want to show a picture here. Well, actually, I can just show this on camera. I don't have to put it up here. But here's the thing that I want to say is that, one, thank you. All of you, thank you for stopping by the Rapid SOS booth in general and in digital for the scavenger hunt. We had a big scavenger hunt going on. And the scavenger hunt, you had to go to the Rapid SOS booth and you had to go to the InDigital booth and you had to ask them about what some of the new stuff that they were doing. Like for Rapid SOS, they had to ask about Unite. Tell me about Unite. What is it? What is it that's going on? Show me. And then they had to take a selfie with that person as proof that they spoke to that person. And then to InDigital, ask them about something new that they have going on. Again, take a picture, come back to the Rapid SOS booth because that's where I was recording episodes with people and everything, and show me your proof. And once you do, you get yourself an IM 911 lapel pin. But there was a bonus. There was a bonus as well, which was awesome. The bonus, they had to go to another booth to get some information. They had to go see Thor, which was this enormous semi. It was a mobile dispatch center that OUC uses. And they had people there. They had people there that were actually taking calls within Thor. But what people had to do is they had to go find Thor. They had to take a selfie with Thor in the background and then go to GMR. And they had a setup where you could put either on a flight suit or one of the helmets and get a photo as well. Bring that back, and you got yourself a challenge coin, a special one out of Rapid SOS. And Keely was handing those out. It was so much fun. And within like the first 10, 15 minutes of day one, as soon as the ribbon was cut and people were coming in, there were 2 people right off the bat that got not just the pins, but also the bonus, and they got their coins. So thank you all for participating. It was such a good time. And also, thank you to everyone. First off, a big thanks goes out to my homie, Stacy D. Stacy Day of Alaska, dispatcher out of there, pro wrestling fan extraordinaire, because she made me an IM 911 championship belt. And since then, I've been taking it with me to different conferences. And people see it and they want to take pictures. And I have tons of pictures of people. Yeah, John, yeet with it. Here it is right here. This is the IM 911 championship belt. And this bitch is legit. Oh yeah, you hear that? This is legit. Like it has weight, yo. It continues just like the movement continues. The belt continues on a tour, and people are taking pictures. They're getting into it. They're posing. Everything. It has been awesome. Hell yes. Now, here's the thing. Since the time that I received this, again, as a gift from Stacy, for all the good that I've done in this profession and to help dispatchers get their stories out, everything I've done with the movement and continue to do every single day. One of the things that I have wanted to do is do a Dispatcher of the Year. That's right. Do a Dispatcher of the Year award. And a version of this belt would be given to the recipient. Not one to pass around, one for each recipient to have with their first name on it as well. How cool would that be? That would be awesome. Still working on the details, but it is getting closer, and I am super excited about it. Along with Within the Trenches continuing education scholarship, something that I did up until 2020 because, of course, everything stopped with the pandemic, but it's coming back. So many cool things on the horizon, and I cannot wait. Oh, yeah. So I shared the pictures from everyone all over social media, and I have more that I collected that I have to add. I think I'm going to start a photo album and just add pictures of everyone who has taken a picture with the IM 911 championship belt. Excuse me, and put it down there. It has been such a cool thing. And I've been having so much fun. So again, thank you to Stacy Day. Now, I want to go into something here as we're coming up on the wrap up of this open mic live. Because there's a lot of stuff that's been happening. A lot of things that I've been seeing online. A lot of people wanting to make changes. A lot of people saying they've made changes. But you don't know, right? You don't know. And it's okay. Some things don't need explanations. But also, there's some folks, that sometimes are trying to make decisions for themselves or for their family or anything like that. And then you've got other people out there that end up shitting on them. Why? Why do that? Well, here's the thing. I want to share this. I'm going to put this on the screen really quick. And over here on TikTok, I'm just simply going to say what it is. It's a meme that I found the other day. And it speaks volumes. All right? I just want to drop some knowledge on you. for this last little bit as we are going into the wrap up of this open mic. And when I saw this meme, I thought, man, this makes a lot of sense, because I've had a lot of people reach out to me to say, things to the effect of, how did you get started? How did you do what you do? Or how do you have all these connections or whatever? Well, I'll say this. It came with a lot of struggle and a lot of sacrifice. This meme that's on the screen, it says, everybody wants the view. Nobody wants the climb. I'll say it again. Everybody wants the view. Nobody wants the climb. See, it's the easiest that it's ever been to gain a following. The majority of stuff out there on social media, it's all based on memes. Yeah, everybody wants to laugh. Sometimes those places become toxic, and you're like, why? If you're really trying to better, then why? Don't get me wrong. I'm all about blowing off steam. But when someone is asking for some sort of advice, don't just shit on them. Or if someone has something good that's happening, don't just shit on them. Because maybe you were once there too. And people forget what it's like. But again, everybody wants the view. Nobody wants the climb. So when people ask me this sometimes, what I tell them is, again, it took a lot of sacrifice. It took a lot of gigs that were for free. Didn't just start getting paid. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't happen that way. Okay? You might see a lot of stuff where I'm traveling all over the place. I might post something that I'm eating, and sure, it's good, but what you don't know is that I didn't probably eat all freaking day because I was teaching and I wanted to stay in what I was doing, or maybe I was nervous or whatever, and I'm finally getting a chance to eat at the end of the night. Or what you don't see is the fact that I drove 20 hours to get to that teaching gig. Yeah, it was my choice, but also a choice to save money. See, it's not the easiest thing. And some people think they can just jump into it. I had someone reach out about training one time. And I said, it took me over a decade to build the connections and the reputation and the trust that I have in our profession and with these big companies. Over a decade. It's all of my time in dispatch, but that over a decade is after dispatch, working on the private side. And sometimes having to put the podcast on hold for a few weeks so that I can do my job for the company that I was working for at the time. Luckily for me, that company also supported everything I was doing with that podcast, which is why I'm still doing it. But also because I wanted the climb, because I knew eventually I would get the view. See, there's a lot of work that goes into this stuff. And if you really want it, you can do it. But be careful, because there are vampires out there, and they will suck the life out of you if you let them. It's just like in the movies. What is it? In some of those movies, vampires can only get in if you give them permission to come in. And it's the same thing in real life, man. So be careful. Because not everyone is in your corner. I've lost a lot of people. And I know I've said this before, but I'll say it again. One of the things that I fear, and I posted this recently, is success. Because when I succeed at something, you've got salty ass people that will shit on you. And that's okay. Because that's just their own insecurities that they are projecting on you. So don't let it get you down. You keep doing what you're doing, and you are going to thrive. It's going to happen. Just remember, sugar and salt look the same. Sugar and salt look the same. And a lot of times your haters come with smiles. So be careful. I'm not trying to scare any of you. I'm just telling you that this is what comes with success sometimes. And you have to be ready to move on from people who no longer deserve to be in your circle. See, I can be happy for anyone, and I can want you to have a seat at the table, but not my table. See, there's a difference. Some people aren't meant to come on the ride with you. And when you're doing things for the right reasons, people will see it. Again, like I said, there are a lot of things that I did for free because I wanted to, because it was for the right reason. There was a conference that I did for a friend of mine. I did it all for free. Keynote, Imagine Listening, booth, because they wanted to have national speakers. And I was just honored for someone to say that I was a national speaker. I was like, damn, that is awesome. I want to do this. Let's do this. They're like, we can pay for your room. I said, you know what? That's fine. If you can't, that's okay. I just want to help out. And I did it because my grandmother used to tell me, if you put good things out there, good things are going to come back. And I wanted to do this because I also wanted to have Imagine Listening there at that conference. One, I had never done it before, but a lot of people had asked about it. Here's the thing. About 30 minutes after I did Imagine Listening at that conference, I got a phone call and an email from someone across the country who had just heard about the Imagine Listening session, and they wanted it at their conference. And they wanted me to speak, and they said that they would pay for it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Because there's people out there, you'll notice after a while, you can tell they're burnt out. You can tell that they're tired of talking about the stuff that they talk about all the time. You can tell that they're doing it just for the money. And you know what? That's okay. If that's what's happening, that's okay. But for you, for those of you who are watching and listening, if you are looking to better yourself, to invest in yourself, take it from me. Do the damn thing and do it with heart. Do it with passion. Show us what your why is. It's that great quote that I love from Simon Sinek that says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And that right there in itself, I feel, is why I've been able to do everything that I've done and continue to do, because all of you see the reason why I'm doing it. All of you are my why. And if I can help you in any way to get your stories out, to help with mental health and wellness, to help by giving back free continuing education somehow through the virtual events that I do, then that's what I'm going to do, damn it. But don't let other people shit on you. You're going to make it. Just stick to it. There's a lot of people out there. And there's this as well. People can copy what you do, but they are not you. You bring something to the table that those folks won't be able to, because they don't have your experience and they don't have your story. That is what makes you all special. So hang on to that. The last thing I want to say, going along with this meme, earlier today, I kind of had and bear with me as I say this, we had a Twilight Zone marathon, okay? My kids love the Twilight Zone. Like, I'm talking like old school, okay? Ron Serling type. The original. And there is an episode that I would love for you guys to watch sometime, because as an adult, it really hits, okay? What I want to say is that while you are pursuing your dreams, while you are pushing hard, while you are hoping and wishing that you were living a whatever version of life that you want to live, take a moment to reflect and be aware of what you're living at that moment, because you could very well be living what you're wishing to live. You're just not aware, because you're just pushing and pushing and pushing. This episode is called Walking Distance. It's about this guy. He's 36 years old. He is fed up with corporate life in New York, in New York City. He works in media. And he needs a break. So he goes back home. And he stops to get gas, and he sees the sign to the town that he grew up in. And he says, "That's walking distance, isn't it?" And the attendant says, "Yeah." So he walks over there. Well, here's the thing. When he walks over there, he walks into his soda shop, the same one he did when he was a kid. And it is the same one. He sees himself as like a 6-year-old boy. He sees himself as a teenager and then older, and he sees his parents. And he's running around that town experiencing all of these different things because he's looking for some answer. And he actually has a conversation with his dad, who's telling him, it looks like you're searching for something. It looks like you're lost. He's like, but you can't be in this timeline because you already had your summer. You already had this timeline. It's now his meaning him in that timeline as his younger self. And at one point, he's chasing himself. And he ends up falling and hurting his leg, and it's something that he ends up getting too, because it's like past and future. He gets it as well. But there's a moment where it zeroes in on him, and he says, I just wanted to tell you, basically, to take advantage of the time that you have. Enjoy what you have. Enjoy what you have now. Because later on, you might not get those chances. And then he ends up leaving. And of course, there's the narration. I don't want to ruin the rest, but it is a powerful episode. And every time I watch it, it makes me think as well that sometimes you need to step back so that you can realize that you might just be living the life that you want. You're just not aware at the moment. So, all of that put together, there are some folks that are not meant to evolve. They are simply there to show you what it's like if you don't. See, I tell my kids this, and I swear by it. In the future, I don't want to be that old man who's sitting on the porch staring at the sky, wishing that I would have done it, because regret is a shitty thing and it'll eat you up. I want to be that old man who's staring up at the sky, smiling, saying, I did it. I did it. I had fun doing it. And although I lost some people along the way, they weren't meant to be at my table. And those that do remain, well, we're going to do some cool shit together. While you are waving, passing by those that just don't want to evolve and move forward, who are salty and shitty because of their own bullshit, while they don't want the climb, you eventually will get the view. There you have it, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed this open mic live. And if you would like to, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, I will be going live in the Trenches community for a coffee chat. And we can hang out again for about 30 minutes or so. What is your number now? Where are you at? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome, where are you? I'm way above a 10. And I have had such a great time with all of you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And also, thank you for all the love and support. Because I'm not stupid, man. Like, yeah, I might have started all of this stuff. But if it wasn't for all of you and your support, I would not be where I am at today. So thank you, all of you, for everything. Thank you. But also thank you for what you do in this profession. I love you guys. This has been an amazing evening. And now I'm going to wrap up so I can go watch the rest of SummerSlam with my kids. But I hope you enjoyed some of this knowledge that I dropped. I have been doing all this stuff for over a decade. I have gone to bat for people. People have gone to bat for me. I've lost some people. And that's okay. Because I still want to see you succeed. I still want to see you have a seat at the table. It's not my table, but we're all on the mission. Love it. Thank you, guys. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital, Leader Next Gen Core Services, and shout out again to Rapid SOS for hooking me up, hosting me there at the booth at APCO, and there is so much more to come with that partnership. You just wait. We got a lot coming up with that. And also, if you have any comments, questions, you ever want to be a guest on the flagship show, you can simply go to links.co/IM911. That is links with 2 I's.co/IM911. You'll find everything there. You'll find the latest episodes of Within the Trenches podcast, as well as Imagine Listening podcast. You will also find the free link to the Trenches community, where there are over 200 hours of continuing education from all the Dare to Be Great virtual events. The Public Safety Showcase is coming up on there. All 44 rounds of the Dispatchers Roundtable are there as well, all in one spot for you to connect, learn from each other. I'm going to be adding more resources and everything. And before I forget, in just a couple of weeks, August 24th, will be the 9th anniversary of the birth of the I Am 911 movement. And though you might not have seen memes coming up lately, there have been stories shared every single day on the platforms, and there are more to come. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be celebrating on August 24th for I Am 911 Day. So look out for that. I am super excited. And then next year will be 10 years. Oh, man, it is going to be amazing. So look out for all of that stuff. And again, just thank you for everything. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you all in the next one.